We grew up together in that hellhole. Neither of our parents were the most caring or skilled at parenting. At school, life was by no means any easier. Always at the mercy of some jock fuck or gangbanger. We used to talk about how we would travel, see the world, and then come back and shove it in their faces. And once we got out of school, that's exactly what I did. I left it all behind. I was determined to follow through and see the world and everything it had to offer. And I did. When I got back, I found him exactly where I'd left him, in that sweat stain of an apartment on South Rockford Drive. He hadn't gone anywhere, trying shitty jobs, having shitty friends, paying back shitty debts made from making shitty deals. So this time, I took him with me, promised to make something out of him. We both had a taste for speed and machinery, and I'd made some money from my travels, so I decided to open up a workshop, a garage where we could make an honest living tweaking motorcycles. But the pay from our clients was just the start. We were going to make our fame, to rekindle the dream of owning this town. As time went by, we made enough money to buy our own bikes. And so we began riding together. The workshop became our clubhouse, somewhere where we could build up our collection of bikes and work on them, some of which we used for racing the streets and making a name for ourselves. The rest of the time, well, let's just say neither an honest day's pay nor the pink slips of the underground was enough for us. We began hiring ourselves out under our club name, Muscle Extortion Services. You name it, we did it. The pay of the outlaw lifestyle was just too enticing and too lucrative. And always and ever, he had my back. The Deadbits became the fiercest two-wheeled criminal organization in Los Santos. Oh, sometimes we would feel the sting of guilt as to what we were doing. When the traumas did hit hard, we'd go back together to that place and remind ourselves why we were doing it. It never once failed to motivate us. Then, a particular job shifted our lives into a higher gear. A triad family had hired us to do security at a funeral, and the pay was massive. As this, our biggest protection gig yet, wrapped up and the money from that job rolled in, I knew that we were on to something. The money was enough for him to buy a nice house, swimming pool and all. It was his intention to retire there, get himself a dog, live the quiet life. He had made it in his own eyes. All those botched deals from so long ago had been paid for. He was done. But I wanted more. I wanted it all. I never had to struggle to convince him. His loyalty was unquestionable. Gradually, we outgrew the protection business, which was becoming too small time. Together, we started doing high-risk jobs, The greater the risk, the greater the pay. We became known to law enforcement, specific targets for special operations task forces. We ambushed rival organizations. We broke into high security facilities and stole advanced technology in order to sell it to high-end backers. The money flowed like a river. But while he bought vanity items, fancy clothes and new cars, I invested my share of the money, founded an ever-growing front corporation, and hiring staff with connections. We brought in more people, individuals with both vision and drive to see that vision through to the end. I became a shareholder in various businesses, sponsored local entrepreneurs, and opened various firms and companies dealing in a multitude of fields. Slowly but surely, I folded the Deadbits Motorcycle Club into my expanding financial empire. It became a branch of my conglomerate. And the logo, well, it adjusted accordingly. But though the MC racket was in my past, my taste for speed would not bow down. The corporation's fleet of racing cars was represented in every category of competition, from track racing to off-road, muscle to super, sports to classic sports, and even SUVs and street racing, only but a few among even more categories. I was still hungry for the thrill of victory, and though my concerns were lofty by now, I still allowed myself some leisure. At long last, it was my turn to claim that I'd made it. I'd become a mogul, someone important, a mover and a shaker, someone who can get things done. My influence stretched all across San Andreas, and anyone who proved themselves to me would be able to share in the bounty. And all throughout this time, my right hand had been with me from start to finish. We'd been together for so long. We knew each other inside and out. And just from looking at him across the desk, I could tell, I knew, he wanted more. He wanted it all.